Okay, today we're going to learn about the first derivative test. Now this test determines where f is increasing and or decreasing. Now we're going to use the function x to the fourth minus 18x squared. Now the first thing we're going to do is find the derivative. So it's 4x cubed minus 36x. Now what we're going to want to do is factor out a 4x, so we're left with x squared minus 9. Now we're going to set this whole thing equal to 0 to find our critical points. So we end up getting x equals 0 from 4x equals 0, and when we set x squared minus 9 equal to 0, we get x equals 3 and x equals negative 3. Now you can make a chart or a table, but it's easier to just write a little number line, like so. Now, we're going to put all our values on there. So we have the 0, the negative 3, and the 3. And we're going to want to put in test values. So our test values could be negative 4, negative 2, 2, and why not 4? Okay. So when we plug in, so we have test values. So we plug in negative 4, for example, back into the derivative. 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 squared minus 9. And this ends up being a negative number. So just put a little negative sign there. Next, we can plug in negative 2. So we have 4 times negative 2 times negative 2 squared minus 9, and we end up getting a positive number here. Next, we can plug in a 2. So 2 times 4 times 2 squared minus 9. So we end up getting a negative number here, so put a negative sign there. And then we can plug in a 4. 4 times 4 times 4 squared minus 9, and we end up getting a positive number here. So by this, we can tell that our function is decreasing in this interval, increasing here, decreasing, and then increasing again. Now, so we can write this out. So our function's increasing from the domain of negative 3 to 0, and then again from 3 to infinity. And it's decreasing from negative infinity to negative 3, and again from 0 to 3. And this is our first derivative test. So take a look at that. Okay, sometimes you get examples that sometimes you're going to want to find the actual points where your function is increasing or decreasing. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to have to plug these values back into your function. So we do this over here, so we get